Yo, it's Kat, your girl, Conversations with Kat. Coming to you with another version of Conversations with Kat, 5-part series, maybe 6, of Chronicles of a Widow. And that's why I call it Chronicles, because kind of telling you about what I've gone through as a widow. Whew. So I have been a widow for 5 years, going on 6. It'll be 6 in October. And wow. While it sounds like a long time in numbers, but really it's not, because it don't feel like it. So let's give you some backstory. I married Terrence Joseph March. He was my senior at the time. In 1999. And you see, I have this shirt on. Married him in June 26th of 1999. We were together 24, married 21. That's a long time. Just saying. Met him at Houston Community College in a Saturday literature class. Who wanted to take a literature class on a Saturday? Not I. However, I had to, because I was working full time. So I needed to take this class because I'm trying to get my associates. I'm still trying to pursue after this degree. So I had to take this class. And I met him in this class. I would always go on break to the bookstore. My favorite snack, orange juice, soft batch chocolate chip cookies. He would try to talk to me. I brushed him off. I'm like, because I just got out of a relationship, so I really wasn't trying to talk to nobody. But he kept going. Then we had to do some kind of project in class. He's so happened to make himself a part of the group that we had to do this group project, which gave him a way to get in to talk to me. Okay. Now that I look back, persistent. Cool. Then we had to pair up and do a project. Wow, that was something. So we were together, again, years. And so, like I said, we met in English class. And when we had to partner up for this project, that was his way of getting to me. Because, again, I was dodging him. I was pushing him away. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. He was persistent. And, again, as I look back, I'm like, dang, he was persistent. Okay. When we had to do the project, he's like, oh, come to my house. I didn't know at the time that he still stayed at home with his parents. And I'm thinking, come to your house? Well, I'm not coming to your house. He's like, I stay at my parents' house. Come over my house. So we're on this project. Cool, did that. It was on after that. Because I loved his family. His family loved us. And I had Alex at 16. So, and I don't comb hair. I still don't comb hair to this day. But I didn't comb hair. His mother loved combing hair. So it was a big benefit for me too, because she's like, oh, I do her hair. Girl, Kim, do this girl hair. End up going over there a lot, seeing him a lot, not just in class, all of that. And then, but when I met him, it was right before my birthday was in October. His birthday is in September. So he had a party at this club called the Rawhide. And I wasn't even 21 yet, and I couldn't get in. He spent half the party outside in the parking lot talking to me. And I kept telling him, no, go back to your party, go back to your... He's like, no, I want to talk to you, I want to stay with you. Half his party, he stayed in the parking lot talking to me. Dang. Because again, I wasn't even 21 yet. Dang, I met this boy when I was 20. Oh, shoot. Okay. So then I turned 21. We went out for my birthday. He took me out on a date. Now, mind you. Okay, so I wasn't 21 yet, but I still was giving little drinks. But now we really was out drinking. Having a good time. You know, doing the dating thing. So we're dating. And dating. So we dated for about a year or two. And then after that, I started talking about marriage. He started talking about marriage. And we were just getting sick talking about how we would be perfect together and all this kind of stuff. Whatever. And I'm like, we ain't getting married. He started going to church with me. I was like, ooh, maybe we will get married. His family started coming to the church. It's like, dang, this is a family. So it became this big thing. Wow. From dating, dang. I just think about the dating round. Like, we were just talking. And then when he proposed to me, it was on my birthday. We were supposed to go out to dinner, just the two of us. But being a single parent, I didn't have a babysitter. And as you know, as an older sibling, you got to care for your younger sibling. I had to keep my brother, my little brother. So they both went to dinner with us. And I remember, I don't know what was going on at that dinner, but I think they were cutting up a dinner, making me mad. And I was like, you know what? Let's just cut dinner, just get our food. Let's just go. And when we got to the car, I remember this so vividly. He kept talking about, you ready to go? I said, I'm ready, let's go. And I'm irritated because I'm like, y'all cutting up in the backseat, stop that. And he was like, you ready? I said, I'm ready. And I remember he had opened my door for to get in, and I had to close my door because I think he had opened the back door. And he said, you ready? I said, I am ready. And I looked at him and said, I'm ready. And he was on his knee, and he said, will you marry me? Oh, I remember it like yesterday. That, you know, there are certain moments in your life you just know, you just remember. I remember that moment because I kept saying, I'm ready. And when I looked, he was on his knee. Wow. Whew. Dang. So then we are engaged now. Planning a wedding. Hold on, y'all. Because y'all know as these memories come, you know what's going to happen. Wow. So we're engaged, preparing for this wedding. We were engaged for like a year and a half. We went to counseling for that time because I know me, your girl knows herself. To go from being independent single parent to having to have somebody else tell you what to do, how to guide, move life, you know, get through life. That was something I had to adapt to. And counseling, marriage counseling truly helped with that because I'm stubborn. I know this. Your girl, stubborn. It was going to be my way or the highway. But going through counseling, I learned how to, and I know some women don't like the word submit, I learned to submit to leadership, to him being the leader, God in the family. Boom. We get married. Beautiful wedding. Yeah, I have to drop the picture. This is us getting married. Yeah. And this is a crazy thing. Oh my gosh. When I look back, I'm like, we got married at East Bethel, Pastor Mouton Church. Rest in peace, Pastor Mouton as well. But wow, I look back at, we got married then. I didn't even know Pastor Mouton, know nothing about him. But of course, that was Pastor King's friend. So we were able to use the church. And then later down the line, I became cool with Pastor Mouton because we were part of Vacation Bible School and everything. So we want to go back. So we're married now. Living on the Southwest, living this married life. He come to me a year later, I want to have a baby. You want to do what? You want to do what? No. I said, we got Alex. We good. We got a little person. He was like, nah, I want us to have a baby together. Us to make a baby. I was like, are you sure about this? Because babies, ooh. He's like, come on. His parents, my parents. Doing this team up talk. Oh, hold on, y'all. Okay. Teamed up. I want to say bullied me into having a kid. I was like, I don't want to say bully. But they say Terrence needs a seed. Give him a seed. Because Terrence didn't have any kids. When we met, no kids. He needs a seed. Okay, fine. Let's do this. I agreed to one. I said, we can make one. It took us a year before we made Trinity. And for the longest, let me say for the longest, we thought Trinity was a boy. Because every ultrasound couldn't see. Legs crossed, turned backwards. Named Trinity before Trinity was Trinity. She was Trenton. Called him Trent. I was like, you about to get this boy and we good. A girl and a boy. Solid. Nope. Month before, it's Trinity. She turned to the camera and it was a girl. He was so excited. He was just excited for me being pregnant because he was just like, we about to have a kid. Wow. And I just think back, he was such attentive. Not secret, but something people don't know. While I was pregnant with Trinity, I had to stop singing in the choir because I sang in the choir because I couldn't breathe, being pregnant. But every time he sang, this girl would move and flip. But let me not just, so when he would talk to my stomach every night, talk to her, read her stories, everything. And she would move when he talked. But when he sang, that was a whole different avenue. She would move and turn and flip and flop. I used to have to go, doing church, I would have to go outside because I was so miserable because she would just flip and flop like that's my daddy singing. That's my daddy singing. Trinity, not sure if you knew that. But yes, she's definitely a daddy's girl. And she knew her dad's voice. Trinity comes. Trinity comes. And we had a little scare during childbirth. Because my doctor wasn't there enough time. When she wasn't there when it was time, I had a Memorial Hermann. And when they kept telling me, don't push, I was pushing. They say push, I wouldn't push. Again, that's stubborn me. And when the doctor got there, she was like, Trinity's heart rate started dropping. And they was like, what's going on? What's going on? They was like, push. I was pushing. And I was like, I'm tired. I don't want to push no more. And they say, don't stop. Keep pushing. I stop. And as Trinity was coming out, I stopped pushing. She went back. And then her heart rate dropped. And it was like, we don't know what's going on. My doctor, and it's going to sound like graphic, put her hand in there and pulled Trinity out. And when she came out, Trinity had the umbilical cord around her neck. That's why the pressure was dropping. She undid that. And if I tell you so many people, I know there's a lot of people in that room. I don't remember everybody, but they was in that room. But once they cleaned her up, she cried. And then when she heard Terrence's voice, silence. Eyes wide open. Engaged in conversation with her dad. And let me say, because I'm going to get to the TJ part. TJ did the same thing. Cried. Once I heard his father's voice, peace. Eye-to-eye conversation. Terrence did have that voice. He can bring a situation down. Now, he didn't elevate his voice much, but when he did, oh, you knew. However, yeah, had Trinity. And so, we built a life together. He came to me again. Hey, I want a son. I was like, boy, we ain't good with these two girls. I want a son. I said, I will make you this. This me always willing to deal with. I don't want any kids after 30. Because I didn't want to be the mama or papa. I want to be able to be young enough to go on the field trips and do everything. I want to be able to, when our kids are old enough, we're still young enough to enjoy life and go on trips and do stuff. He's like, I agree. Let's do this. TJ came October 3rd. I turned 30 October 14th. Bruh. And he was like, I'm good. He got his son, Terrence Joseph Morris Jr. And again, with TJ, I had to be induced with him because I had gestational diabetes. So I had to go through inducing. He didn't take long to get here. He came, making all that noise, heard his dad's voice, zip it, out of eye contact. That's how I know my children knew their dad's voice. Because from birth, and with Trinity and TJ, the first 30 minutes of their life here outside, he was talking to them. Now, don't ask me what he said to them, but I know he had conversations with them. So they knew his voice. Yeah. And so we built a life together. We built a life. Yeah, we built this life together. Alex, Trinity, TJ. We built that life together. The one thing he loved, he was so excited. Let me tell you, the one thing he was so excited about having a son was to play sports. Because Terrence played football as starter. But to have a son, and he was like, if he played football, he played football. If he played, but he did. He said he didn't care, but I knew he cared. He wanted to play football. And TJ did play football. Best times, best years. Love, oh my God. They bonded so much in football. But we built a life together. And our relationships have their up and down. Because again, it's me. It's me. I know me. I'm stubborn. But when you have kids, it took away some of that stubborn away from me. Because I love the fact of not being a single parent and not having to say, well, let me think about it. Now, I could flip it and say what your daddy say. And he would flip it and say what your mama say. We'd be like, hold on, we're going to talk about it. I enjoyed us being married. I enjoyed us parenting together. So we would, and this is the crazy thing too. Let me rewind. We met, like I said, ACC. Then from there, we worked at almost all of our jobs together. A lot of our jobs. So we worked at Red Lobster together. And this was Red Lobster on Main, so you know how long ago it was. We worked at Red Lobster together. Then we worked for a workers' comp company called IHDS. Then this company called War North America took the contract for the city of Houston, workers' comp. We worked there together. I left there and went to UT. Wow. He left there and went to another company, like mold remediation, something like that. Then that was doing storms and all that kind of stuff. That company closed. I had to go on maternity leave. They asked me, hey, do you know somebody who can fill in for you? I referred my husband. They said, okay, he can work here till you come back. Why when I come back, they kept him? So then we worked at UT together. Then I left there and I stayed at UT, and I went to UT Housing because I was with Circulation with UT Housing. He went to another department in UT. Then, so now we're both at UT. We're not working side by side anymore, but we're both at UT. I went to MD Anderson. He went to MD Anderson. But again, we're at the same company, but not working together. Then I went to NASA. No, from UT, I went to NASA, then went to MD Anderson. He stayed at UT, went to MD Anderson, then came back to UT. So again, we're still in the same company, but we just kept saying we'll never work in departments together because when it came to travel and kids and everything, that was hard to maneuver. So we said we didn't mind being in the same place. But then it just became to the point we would go to work together because we rode in together, rode home together. We became this inseparable couple. And I thank God for that because we spent a lot of time together. A lot of time. Then he became a coach for football for TJ. I became the team mom. So now we're in sports together. Trinity's in sports. I'm there. He's there. Everything we did was together. Everything in church was together. We were all, it was like if you saw T, you saw Kathy. If you saw Kathy, you saw T. We were inseparable. I think about all the times we were always together. Like if you don't see me, they be like, what's wrong? So now we've built this life together, these kids together, everything. And then our bonus son comes, Dedrick. Dedrick moves in with us so he can have an opportunity to go to school in Pearland. We call him the bonus son. So now we always say we got 4 kids. Alex, Dedrick, Trinity, TJ, 4 kids. And again, Dedrick played football. He was there, encouraged Dedrick with football. Terrence was the man. Dang. Yeah. Dedrick went away to school. Alex went away to school. Like he helped give them good advice on different stuff, just that they will build their personalities and who they are. So they make comments about, yeah, Terrence did, a dad said this, a dad told us this and this or whatever. So that's the beginning of marriage, parenting. Our friendship was everything. Like this man, I could do the goofiest things. And I always say, I'm gonna laugh at my own self. I never really had to laugh at my own self because we was goofy together. I would say something silly, he would say something silly. He'd do something silly, I do something. Like, we had a true friend outside of marriage, outside of parenting. We had a true friendship because we could laugh at anything together. We find the best things out of any bad situation. Wow. So now so I'm a fast forward, kids are growing up, right? And the one statement he always made to me was he wanted to make sure we were friends because eventually our children are going to grow up and go on about their lives and do what they want to do. We have to be able to still coexist with each other, still enjoy each other's company. And I never understood that in the beginning. I was like, boy, the kids ain't going nowhere. But as our kids got older and started doing their own things with their friends, I'm like, dang, it's just me and you. So we would start doing silly stuff. We would go, this is when Walmart was 24 hours. We would get up in the middle of the night, like we were just watching TV, it's 11, 12 o'clock at night. We can go in Walmart and cut up. Walking down the aisle, laughing, doing some stuff. And if I was mad at him for some reason, he would go on a different aisle and be like, Kathy, I love you. And I'm like, you're embarrassing me. But it was so cute. It was those little things, like when I think back now, those are little things that I miss, that I never realized that it would mean that much to me later down the line. So let's fast forward. My 45th birthday is coming. And he said, let's take a trip to Vegas. I'm down. Vacation. We had planned this trip for a couple of months. And literally, it was a Friday night. And he said, what you finna do? I say, I'm about to go upstairs. I'm finna go ahead and get this laundry rolling and start packing. Because I already took the suitcases out. This is a Friday night. We were supposed to leave on Monday. And I was washing. I had the suitcases out. And I was like, okay, underwear. Got our toiletries together. Like, I'm doing this. And before that, we had went to the store. Because Friday night was watch sports and eat fried fish and fried shrimp. That's what we did on Friday nights. Fried fish and fried shrimp. We had a ritual. So, I'm upstairs. And he come up and say, babe, I don't feel good. I said, what's wrong? What's wrong? He said, my stomach hurt. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's wrong. And Terrence was the type, he don't get sick. No sniffles. No, if he got sick, it was serious. Maybe in our entire marriage, I can recall 3 times that man was sick. 3. So we go in the restroom, and he was like, I don't feel good. He started throwing up just. I was like, I say, it must be the fish. It must be bad fish, bad shrimp. I told TJ, call 911, because he just didn't look right. Call 911. They came. They checked him out. They was like, okay, his blood pressure's a little elevated, you know. And he was like, okay. But he was like, they was like, you want to go to the hospital? He said no. And had a recliner in the room. He sat in the recliner. It's like, okay, so he doesn't want to go, but his blood pressure is returning to normal. So, but if y'all need us again, call us back. Cool. He said, my stomach hurt. He just kept saying his stomach right here hurt. My stomach hurt. So I'm trying to massage it, thinking maybe it's a cramp. He said, let me just lay down. Let me just lay down. So I said, okay, lay down. And I said, now, if you still feeling bad, in the next 30 minutes, we're going to the hospital. Period. I was saying 30 minutes. I really meant 10. I go through the bathroom to the closet to get my shoes. When I came back, I heard something. I thought, I said, dang, he didn't went to sleep fast. I thought he was snoring. Because if everybody knows, Terrence snored. But I listened. I was like, that's not a snore. That's a gurgle. So I went to look. He was gurgling on his own blood. And that's when everything changed. TJ called 911. I told TJ go next door to get the neighbor to help me because I couldn't do CPR on the bed. So the neighbor next door came over, helped us get him down. We did CPR. The ambulance came back, and they took over. And we went downstairs. I just started making phone calls to people. I called multiple people. Hey, this is going on with Terrence. He's sick. We go downstairs. I'd called Alex, like, Alex, my brother, Tracy, Dino, Pastor King, Takesha. Like, I called a lot of people. It's like, hey, this is what's going on. Ambulance, people's families, let me say family shows up. Family show up, and it was like, okay, well, it's looking okay. His O2 is coming up. Tracy was there. Dino wasn't there. Pastor was there. Randy was there. My brother was there. Like, it was a lot of people there. Marla, Donette, like, it was a lot of people there. If I miss a name, you know. And I remember standing outside. And this is when my world changed. We were standing outside in the driveway. And I saw the paramedic come out. And I just knew he was going to say, we're going to transport to the hospital. And he said, ma'am, I'm sorry. We were not able to revive your husband. I let out the loudest scream. And I remember falling to my knees. And I remember this in this moment saying, did you do all you can do? There has to be more to be done. And that man said, ma'am, we've done everything we can. We've done all we can. that moment, October 10th, because now it's Saturday morning, it is 2 a.m. I was told that my husband has passed away. That is the day I never forget, 10/10/2020. And mind you, we're in COVID. We're like at the end, like still in COVID. And COVID was a time that we really bonded together because we worked from home together. I think that's when we became the closest. But October 10th, 2020, 2 a.m., my life stopped. Completely stopped. It changed at that moment. After I came out of that fog, and I can't tell you how long that time was, all I can say is, where are my children? Where are my children? And I hugged them so tight because their dad was everything to them. He was a true dad, a true provider, a true man. And all I could think is, where are my kids? What are my kids gonna do now without a dad? October 10th, 2020. 10/10/2020. And I also had that tattooed on the inside of my finger, my ring finger. I lost the love of my life. The love of my life that night. My life never be the same. It has never been the same since that day. And this is what's crazy. As much as we were together, we always thought we'd go together. Because we drove to work, we drove to church, we drove to practice. Everywhere we went was together. We had our wheels planned for other people to take our kids to godparents. And the fact that now he's gone, but I'm still here. So if anybody asks, there's always a defining moment in your life, a defining date. And the defining date in my life, other than my children's birth, is October 10th, 2020. So I'm going to end Conversations with Kat right there. Chronicles of a Widow. That was the beginning of the story of us. Next episode will be Year 1 without Terrence. Conversations with Kat. Stay tuned for the next episode.